Hey everyone, we hope you had a great finish to your summer and start off to the fall season. I don't know about where you guys are, but here in Greenville, South Carolina, the weather is just starting to turn nice, and we're so grateful for that. In light of that, and with a lot of planning and strategy changes and things we're looking at for the end of this year and beginning of 2026, we want to take a few quick minutes to make a quick introduction to one of the newest members of our team. So I brought on Trevor Rasmussen, our first official staff advisor or support advisor to our team that joined us a few weeks ago. Just wanted to get you guys to hear a little bit about his story and get to meet him briefly. Talk through some of the things that about his family and his Ramsey story and why he's here at Smart Pro. And from there, over time, we'll be making some direct introductions. He's going to be joining us in meetings, helping out with some things behind the scenes, and you'll definitely see some contact from him coming up in the next few months and years to come. So, just to kind of start off, Trevor, I know you a lot better than all these people know you. Tell us, your name, where you're from, and a little bit about your family.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah.
So, like he already said, my name is Trevor Rasmussen. I'm from the West Coast originally, so all the way out here in South Carolina. I'm married. Just hit my 2-year anniversary with my wife, which was awesome. I got to celebrate that. But we're both from the West Coast. Moved out to Greenville about 4.5 years ago now, which is wild to believe. But we absolutely love it here. This is home now for us, and so yeah. That's kind of my background, West Coast to East Coast and the Southeast in particular.
And what actually brought you from the West Coast to the East Coast? We had a ton of people move here to South Carolina,
Yep.
specifically the Greenville area, from really all along, Washington, Oregon, California, etc. Like, what brought you guys to this area?
Yeah, well, we were definitely COVID transplants, just like a lot of other people were. I got brought out originally for work. I was in another industry, working for TTI. They do power tool manufacturing, Milwaukee Power Tools, Ryobi Power Tools. So I ended up being brought out for work and kind of had the expectation that we were only going to be out here for a short time and then eventually head back home. And my wife and I just absolutely fell in love with the area. We love the people. We love just the Southern hospitality that South Carolina brings, especially in the upstate. And so we, like I said earlier, have just fallen in love and call this place home now.
Fantastic. We're super glad to have you. We had a lot of COVID transplants, so
Yep.
we only want the good ones, right? So
Yep.
I
Exactly.
feel like we got some good ones here for us. So
We always get that question of,
yeah,
which kind of West Coaster are you? And that's a
right,
fun one to navigate. But,
right, yeah, awesome. So tell us a little bit about hobbies, activities, things that you and Chelsea enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we both love sports. We were both collegiate athletes, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a wrestler, and she was a sand volleyball player,
Mm-hmm.
which we've got some similarities there, Patrick.
Yeah.
But with both of our wives playing in college, but we love athletics, love sports. You'll catch us on the weekends watching football games, and we root for some teams that aren't doing so well this year. A lot of South Carolina and Clemson fans can relate to that, I'm sure.
Every year is what
Yeah.
it seems like these days. Every year right now.
Yep.
So,
Yep. But
yeah.
but yeah, we love sports. We love the outdoors,
Mhm.
fishing, hiking, hunting, all the above, camping. So
Yeah.
that's really our thing. We both are very active in our faith. So we've got our church community that we're very plugged in with and involved with. So a
Mhm.
lot of weeknights and a lot of Sundays we're helping out at the church and volunteering and all that kind of good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I'm curious, so with being a big fan of the outdoors and sports, any specific places you've been to in the Southeast so far that really stand out?
Ooh, that's a good
It's a hard one.
question.
There's a lot of like hiking, waterfalls,
Hmm.
all that kind of stuff. So just
Yeah,
curious about that.
yeah. We really love the lakes around here, Kiwi, and just Kiwi in general is just so
Mhm.
nice. So we love lakes. We love kayaking, going out and just spending time on the water.
Mhm.
So that's really kind of like our main spot when we get
Yeah,
a chance to get away for a little bit.
fantastic. Awesome.
Yep.
So shifting gears to work and the industry we're in, right? Everybody here, or most of our clients, know that we're big Ramsey fans,
Yep.
right? That's one of our primary connections from a marketing as well as like philosophy and values perspective. I know you guys have your own Ramsey story. Give everyone quick highlights of your background with the Ramsey methodology and what brought you guys to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a fan of Ramsey Solutions and Dave Ramsey for a long time. I actually, in Oregon, part of the mandatory curriculum when you're going through high school is your senior year, you have to take a personal finance course,
Mhm.
which I think most kids are generally not excited about. But for
Mhm.
whatever reason, I've always loved personal finance, and so I was really pumped about that. Had never really been introduced to Ramsey before, the Ramsey way of doing things, and in that course, we actually went through FPU.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
was able to go through the full FPU class, and had great discussions with classmates and my teacher about it, and just fell in love with the mentality, the teaching aspects of it, the practicality, how simple everything really is. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Hmm.
And I think I was really drawn to the fact that like it is attainable to win with money in this country. We live in one of the greatest economic countries the world's ever seen.
Mhm.
And so just a little bit of planning, a little bit of intentionality can really get you a long way. And I think that's one thing that really drew me to Dave Ramsey and the Ramsey way of doing things.
Yeah, fantastic. I didn't realize that you had actually done FPU in high school, so
Yep.
that's incredible.
Yep. And
S-
we didn't have the awesome, debt payoff story.
mhm.
I get jealous of a lot of people who have that
Yeah,
because it's
I
such a
understand.
cool, emotional
Yeah.
experience to be able to kind of climb out of that debt experience and have financial freedom really for the first time.
Mhm.
For us, it was kind of just starting from, baby step 3 and moving our way on up. And so it was just it was really, we were fortunate to be in that position, not have to climb out of debt.
Mhm.
We had great parents that really helped set us up for financial success coming into adulthood.
Mhm.
And so it's been baby step 3, 4, and now we're in 4, 5, and 6. And so that's been an awesome place to be.
Yeah, fantastic. And that's I'm glad you mentioned that because a lot of people might not know this about me is I also did not have a big baby step two story.
Yep.
For me personally, like me and Haley, but growing up in a household that did have that,
Yep.
being a child, being raised in that environment where there was a lot of stress, a lot of financial strife, and things like that, leading into getting to more freedom.
Yep.
Out of baby step two into three, four, five, six, and now my parents being step seven, retired,
Incredible.
retired a little bit early actually with because of that. So it's definitely one of those things where you don't have to have this massive transformation. It can also just be, well, hey, like I already kind of live by these values,
Yep.
but now here's a method that I can use to coach and train and show other people what success can look like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really like the fact that you shared that. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Exactly. Of course.
So connecting that back to our business here with Smart Pro, we met through church actually facilitating the FPU course
Yep.
this semester for church. Tell everybody why Smart Pro, like what stands out to you about joining our team here. There's a dime a dozen financial firms, right?
Yep.
And I know we had talked, initial conversations. You were evaluating firms and trying to find, what's the right fit, if there's a fit, kind of thing. What led you specifically to want to join with Smart Pro Financial?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, it was just the mentality of the firm as a whole, and Patrick, especially your mentality, and everyone's mentality around this office is so much oriented towards being the teachers that Dave talks about all the time, having the heart of a teacher to help break complex things down and make them simple for people,
Mhm.
and give people tangible action items and steps that they can take to win with money. And I
Mhm.
think, so many firms, unfortunately, in our industry are kind of the shady snake oil salesmen that are just
Mhm.
trying to get a commission or just trying to, jack up their rates whenever they can. And I think the genuine just love for people and wanting to see people actually succeed with money, and that being the main mentality of Smart Pro, the predominant 100% mentality of Smart Pro is really just
Mhm.
helping people first, is what really drew me.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah,
And
of
we're
course.
super excited to have you on the team. We actually started adding into our newsletter that's been going out on a monthly basis. I did miss September. I know. Don't worry, it's coming in October. But with our newsletter, we started adding in like what is our vision statement for our office. Now, this is not necessarily Smart Pro wide, all 100 advisors, but our local office here in Greenville, South Carolina, is we want to become the resource for personalized financial planning, helping 10,000 families steward their wealth for impact and influence over time. And Trevor, his role is specifically part of this because we can't hit that number without having more of the right people joining the team. And I just want to make sure I point that out as, it's not about like just doing more, like having more things like that, but it's really about how can we have a bigger impact and influence. And that involves giving other people an opportunity for a career path. It involves bringing more people on in different roles as we continue to grow the team. So we're really grateful to have you here. Just as we close out for today, tell everybody, just kind of like an industry related question. What is your favorite financial planning topic and why?
All right, all right. We're getting in the weeds here. I like that.
Yeah.
I would say probably legal tax evasion.
Okay.
Any
We
way.
call that avoidance.
Yes,
Evasion's a crime.
yes,
Avoidance
yes.
is prudence, right? So,
Legal
okay.
tax avoidance.
Yeah.
I think any way that we can structure people's plans to help keep as much money in their pockets and out of the hands of the government,
Mhm.
I think is a win. I personally really like to nerd out about taxes and trying to optimize my tax strategy with my family, but I also love doing that for other people and just helping them keep as much of their money as they can.
Mhm.
So that's probably my number one.
Yeah.
Uh,
We're very
the thing that
weird.
really gets me jazzed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're weirdly wired. Like most people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they want the benefit, but they don't want to have to understand it. We
Exactly.
love to understand it.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Which is great because
yeah,
we can just tell them, hey, this is what you need to do, and then they can say so.
awesome, fantastic. Well, again, Trevor, thank you for being here, man. Welcome to the team. We're so excited to have you here. Like I said at the beginning, Trevor will be joining into client conversations and meetings, and even being a point of contact to reach out to you guys just as we continue to grow and try to give better, more reliable service. If you have any questions or you want to say hey to him, we'll put his contact information below. Feel free to reach out, shoot him a message, and say hello. And we'll continue doing this as we keep growing our team.
Perfect.
So, y'all have a great day.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.